Hello, I'm HSC4008-Santiago. Thank you for setting aside some time to get to know me and see if I'm fit for your program.
Hi Zach, how are you doing today? I'd like to learn a little bit more about you and see if you are fit for this program. Please feel free to take a seat.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So I just want to ask you a couple questions and get to know you a little bit more. Usually the first question we ask when we meet a new applicant is, what drew you towards this career?
From as long as I can remember, me and my family were in and out of the dental office due to my little sister having a tooth defect called enamel hypoplasia. This caused our pediatric dentist to constantly see us in the office, making sure that my little sister was always heard and my family was always heard and seen and not just checked off as a patient on the list. As long as I can remember, I always looked forward to going to Dr. Stefanski's office, and he always taught me to make these connections with any aspect of work I was going to have to do in my future.
Oh, that's awesome to hear that you and your family were able to make such good connections, especially with a dentist. It's not very common that you hear kids say that, so it's nice to hear how he helped influence you to this career. Going from that question, with so many of these dental programs available, what made you specifically choose ours?
UF's program really hit home for me due to the amount of emphasis they put into increasing and learning skills while putting effort into making connections with their patients. A perfect example of UF caring for this is having a course called Putting Families First. This really showed me that UF cares about increasing skills and learning skills while making an effort into making these connections with patients in the future. UF's program also allows me to increase my skills within research by increasing and learning more skills through other courses and hands-on activities.
Awesome. It's great to really hear that there are so many similarities with our program and what you want out of a program in general. So it's really nice to hear. So what would you consider your greatest weakness to be?
My greatest weakness is probably putting too much responsibility on my plate. I tend to, in a course-heavy semester, I'll end up working a lot of hours in my work, and it takes to having a point where I'm stressing out about everything I need to get done within the time span I have to realize that I bit off more than I can chew. It took me to learn a little bit better time management skills and to ask for help, being spacing out studying sessions or asking friends or TAs to help teach courses that I'm struggling in.
Awesome. Well, it's good to see that not only can you recognize your weakness, but you're able to learn from it and also combat that as well. So UF Dental is highly competitive, and we do have multiple candidates that apply each year. So why do you think we should select you for our program?
Well, I'm able to put my head down and get the results that I need and want no matter what. A perfect example of this is the brutal course Organic Chemistry, which you probably heard of.
Oh yes.
I had to take that class a couple of times, and I was able to put my head down and get the results I wanted to be able to pass the course, being teaching myself topics and going to tutoring sessions. Another example is physiology. Due to my professor having a teaching style I wasn't really able to follow behind, I was able to teach myself a good study habit of going to the library after class, teaching myself and going to tutoring sessions, making sure I understand the course before I was able to finish it.
Awesome. That's a really good example of how you're able to overcome hardship even with some adversity being on your plate. So outside of work and school, what do you like to do with your spare time?
Sports. Well, obviously more than just sports in my spare time, but it's a huge aspect of my life. I'm a Bucks, Gators, Rays, Lightning, and Magic fan, so I'm a Florida fan.
Nice.
I love to watch sports, and it's a huge aspect of my life, but I love to play it more. Me and my roommates tend to go to the park near our apartment when we're just bored or need a quick workout. Another thing that I like to do in my spare time is attend UCS PDSA meetings, where I can work on networking, social events, and workshops where I can improve social skills, career skills, and academic skills.
Nice. Well, that sounds like some fun things to do in your spare time, and I'd like to see how that connected to the dentist side of it. So in the event that you aren't selected, what is your alternative plan that you'll take?
If I'm not selected, I plan to apply to more dental programs and or taking a master's program. If dental program does not end up working and the master's program is the one I end up choosing, I plan to take a sales path or an administration path, and this is due to taking a more business side of the dental field, and increasing those skills that way. And any path I end up taking, it will allow me to further my education, and no matter what side I end up landing on.
Awesome. That's really great to hear that you want to further your education no matter what you do, and it's on both sides of the spectrum, the health and the business side. That's really interesting. So for the last question here, we tend to mix it up a little bit. And with that being said, what is one character that you would say represents you the best?
One character that comes to mind is Spider-Man, and I think that he represents me the best. Peter Parker is a young adult that's going through adulthood, and then he's hit with a huge amount of responsibility. And in my eyes, it's kind of like going through college. Peter's always seen as the underdog and is always knocked down in every situation, and he always finds a way to persevere and overcome it. I see myself kind of being similar to that when it comes to classes or life situations that kind of knock me down, and I find a way to overcome it or persevere as the result.
Awesome. Well, that's a really great comparison, really unique one as well. Other than that, just to reiterate, we discussed many things that really shows us why you'd be a potential candidate for our program. Other than that, though, I really can't think of any other questions that I have for you right now.
Awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate you setting aside some time to get to know me and see if I'm a fit for your guys' program.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.